Ever feel like you're just completely running on fumes? But that to-do list never seems to get any shorter. Yeah, tell me about it. Well, today we're tackling that beast stress. We're going to be exploring Cortisync, a supplement that claims to be the best cortisol reducer out there. So we'll break down what's in it, what the science says about it, and really what you should consider before you hit that add to cart button. Guiding us through this research is the one and only, the incredible expert speaker, whose knowledge on stress management and supplements is seriously next level.
Well, I don't know about all that, but I'm definitely happy to share what I know.
And just a heads up to our amazing listeners, if you're ready to try Cortisync for yourself, today's deep dive is actually sponsored by Top Secret Reviews. And they've hooked us up with a special discounted price, so make sure to check out the link in the show notes. You'll be glad you did, trust me. Okay, so let's dive right in. One thing that really jumped out at me from the research was this whole idea that our bodies react to everyday stressors. Like that mountain of emails we all have, battling traffic to work as if they're facing down a saber-toothed tiger.
It really is kind of wild when you think about it. It's like our body's fight or flight response is basically stuck on high alert 24/7. Like, yeah, our ancestors way back when, they needed that surge of cortisol to escape real danger. But these days, it's like our bodies are triggering that same response for things that are just like minor inconveniences, not life or death situations.
Exactly. It's like our bodies totally didn't get the memo that we're not dodging predators in the jungle anymore. So then what happens when that cortisol just keeps on pumping? Our poor adrenal glands must be completely exhausted.
Yeah, they get completely overworked. And that's where the trouble really starts. Cortisol in like normal amounts, it's actually essential. It helps us wake up, regulates our metabolism and all that, helps us deal with the everyday stress. But when you have chronically elevated cortisol, that's when it's linked to a whole bunch of different health issues. Things like increased blood sugar, weight gain, trouble sleeping, even a weakened immune system. No bueno.
It's like that analogy they used. Our adrenal glands are like a 7-Eleven on New Year's Eve. They're going to run out of supplies eventually.
Yeah.
Okay, that is officially my new go-to for explaining adrenal burnout from now on. So that brings us to Cortisync. It's here to hopefully be the cortisol taming hero we've all been waiting for. But before we get into all the nitty-gritty details, let's talk about who's actually buying this supplement.
Yeah, good point. So it's not like some random company you've never heard of. Cortisync is made by Prime Genix, and they've got a really solid reputation in the supplement world. They've been around for a while, and from what I've seen, they really seem to prioritize research and transparency, which is always a good sign when you're looking at supplements.
That's definitely reassuring to hear. So we've got a reputable company behind it, but what about the actual formula itself? I gotta say, the ingredient list reads like they went on a global expedition to find the best of the best. Ashwagandha from India, rhodiola rosea from Siberia, holy basil. It's like they bottled up ancient wisdom and healing traditions.
It's definitely an interesting mix of ingredients, that's for sure. Ashwagandha, for example, has been used in Ayurvedic medicine for centuries to help people adapt to stress and promote calmness and all that. And it's been studied a lot, actually, for its potential to lower those cortisol levels and ease anxiety.
Okay, I am feeling calmer already just hearing you talk about it. What about this rhodiola rosea? It sounds intense, like something you'd need to survive a Siberian winter.
Well, you're not wrong. It grows in cold, mountainous regions and has traditionally been used to boost stamina and resilience. And there's some really interesting research out there suggesting it might help the body better adapt to stress by influencing key neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. So it's messing with your brain chemistry in a good way, hopefully.
Wow. Okay, so we're talking about potentially influencing brain chemistry here. That's awesome. Getting down to the root of the problem. And hey, don't forget, listeners, if you're as intrigued by Cortisync as I am right now, you got to check out that link from our sponsor, Top Secret Reviews. In the show notes, they've got an exclusive discount just for our listeners. Now, where were we? Oh, right, Cortisync's all-star lineup of ingredients. But is this just a random mix of herbs they threw together, or is there actually a method to this botanical madness?
That is the million-dollar question. And it's such a good question because it brings us to this really important concept, synergistic effects. According to all the research you've shared with me, Cortisync's creators didn't just throw a bunch of random ingredients together and hope for the best. They carefully chose specific ingredients and combined them because they actually work in synergy. It's pretty cool. The idea is that the ingredients work together to boost each other's effects, and that can potentially lead to even greater benefits than any one ingredient could have on its own.
Okay, so it's like a superhero team of stress-fighting ingredients. Each one has its own little superpower, but together they're practically unstoppable.
I love that. But
So Less random herb mix, more like a strategic strike team against those pesky stress hormones, right?
Exactly. At least that's the idea behind how they formulated Cortisync.
Okay, I am here for it. That's so cool. But theory is one thing. Actually getting results is a whole other story.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what kind of benefits we're looking at here. What does Cortisync actually claim to do?
So, based on all the info you sent over, Cortisync claims it can help reduce fatigue, like that sluggish feeling, improve how well you sleep at night, make your focus laser sharp, and even help you manage your weight a little better. Some people even say they just feel calmer overall, more energized, just more equipped to handle all the curveballs life throws at us.
Okay, so we're talking like the Swiss Army knife of stress management here. That's a lot. But let's get real for a sec. Are these claims actually backed by real science, or is this getting into like too good to be true territory?
Yeah, I mean, that is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's always good to be a little skeptical when it comes to this stuff. While it seems like Cortisync is highlighting a bunch of potential benefits, and they do mention scientific research on their ingredients, it's key to remember that a lot of those studies are really focusing on individual ingredients, not the specific formula that they've come up with. Plus, everybody reacts differently to supplements, right?
So what you're saying is, I shouldn't ditch my meditation app just yet.
Hey, I'm all for meditation. Keep it up. But yeah, for real though, Cortisync is not going to magically make all your problems disappear. It's not about ditching healthy habits. It's more like, can it maybe enhance the stuff you're already doing?
Got it. So, working smarter, not necessarily harder,
Yeah.
when it comes to handling stress. And speaking of working smarter, I just got to remind our awesome listeners who are ready to try Cortisync out, don't forget to use that link from our sponsor, Top Secret Reviews. It's in the show notes. They've got an awesome discount just for you guys. You won't regret it. Okay, now back to the good stuff. One thing that really stuck with me while I was going through all this research was just how many positive stories there were from real people who have used Cortisync. It wasn't just the whole sciencey side of things. It was actually hearing people talk about what they went through, their aha moments, their struggles, which, by the way, totally relatable. And just that feeling of relief they felt after they started taking Cortisync.
Yeah, I mean, those personal stories can be super powerful. It helps us connect to, like, the human side of all this health stuff, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, remember Sarah's story? The one who was like a super stressed out marketing exec. She was so stressed she was like forgetting her own name, let alone her next big presentation, right?
Right. And she said that after taking Cortisync for a bit, she not only felt calmer, like her anxiety was more manageable, but her sleep got so much better. And on top of that, she had way more energy throughout the day.
It was like Cortisync gave her this reset button,
Yeah.
helped her like reclaim her focus and just get back in the driver's seat of her own life, you know? And then there was Mike, the dad who was juggling work deadlines, kids' activities, just constantly running on empty.
Oh, yeah, poor Mike. He was the one who noticed that Cortisync really helped him keep his energy levels more steady throughout the day. So no more afternoon slump for Mike. He even said he felt more patient, more present when he was with his family, which is huge, especially when you're a parent.
Right. That's like every stressed out parent's dream.
Yeah.
It's amazing that Cortisync helped him tap into some hidden reserves of energy and patience. Okay, these stories are seriously inspiring, but you know me, I got to keep it real.
Yeah.
So how long does this stuff actually take to work? Are we talking like instant gratification, or is this something you got to be patient for, play the long game?
So the info we have is that most people will start noticing subtle changes pretty quickly, maybe within a few weeks. But to really feel the full effects, it's more like 2 to 3 months.
Okay, so not quite like flipping a switch. It's more like nurturing a plant or something.
Yeah.
It takes time, consistency, and the right conditions for it to fully bloom.
100%. And honestly, that's super important to keep in mind because managing those expectations is key with any kind of supplement.
Oh, for sure. And speaking of managing expectations, what about the dosage? Is it one of those things where more is always better? Like, should we be downing a handful of these Cortisync capsules for, like, maximum chill?
Whoa, hold on. Definitely not. More is not better in this situation. In fact, it could even be kind of bad for you to overdo it. They recommend taking 2 capsules each day with meals. And honestly, it's super important to stick with that, unless, of course, your doctor tells you otherwise.
Okay, so no mega dosing for those super zen effects.
Yeah.
Got it. Got to respect our bodies and work with them, not just bombard them with tons of supplements.
Exactly. And honestly, it's always a good idea to just chat with your doctor before you start taking any new supplement, especially if you have any like underlying health conditions, if you're pregnant or maybe breastfeeding, or if you're already taking other medications.
Safety first, always.
Yeah.
Love it. So we've talked about the potential upsides, how long it might take to see results, and why sticking with the recommended dose is key. But are there any downsides? Were there any red flags in the research about, like, side effects or anything?
From everything we've seen, Cortisync seems to be pretty well tolerated overall. I mean, it's using natural ingredients, which is generally a good sign. But having said that, it's still always best to check with your doctor before starting, especially if you have any, pre-existing conditions, are pregnant or breastfeeding, or are currently taking other meds.
Right. Just because something's natural doesn't mean it's totally risk-free or right for everyone.
Exactly. Always better to be safe than sorry and just chat with your doctor.
Absolutely. Okay, I got to be honest. When I first started digging into all this research on Cortisync, I was a little skeptical.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just taking a supplement to reduce stress, it seemed kind of too good to be true. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the more I learned about Cortisync, like the science behind the ingredients they use, the positive experiences people have shared, and just the fact that they're really emphasizing a holistic approach, it's made me way more open to it, that's for sure.
No, I totally get where you're coming from, that initial skepticism. It's smart to question things, especially with so much information and honestly misinformation out there these days.
Oh, tell me about it. It's like every day there's a new wellness trend or some miracle cure.
Right. So it's more important than ever to be like a discerning consumer, do your research, and actually talk to health professionals you trust.
Couldn't agree more. Now, before I get too far ahead of myself here, I want to circle back and quickly remind our awesome listeners about our fantastic sponsor for today's deep dive, Top Secret Reviews. They've got an amazing deal on Cortisync just for you. Seriously. Head to our show notes, click that link, and see for yourself. Now, back to Cortisync. I was so surprised to learn about some of the other potential benefits it might have beyond just stress reduction, which is already a lot. The research mentioned that it could have positive effects on, like, your brain function, how your body handles aging, hormone balance, even gut health, and your mental well-being. We're talking next-level stuff here.
It definitely sounds promising. But remember, research in those areas is still ongoing. While those early findings are really interesting, we need more studies to really confirm these potential benefits.
Right. It's always best to be cautiously optimistic about these things.
Yeah.
It's not about making big promises that it's going to fix everything, but about exploring possibilities. Okay.
Exactly. And we have to remember that Cortisync or any other supplement isn't going to be a magic solution. It's just one potential piece of the puzzle when it comes to your health and well-being,
It's
right?
like they always say, health isn't just about not being sick. It's about being your best self, physically, mentally, the whole package.
Yes. It's about taking that holistic approach like we were talking about, looking at the big picture, not just individual symptoms. It's about taking care of all aspects of your well-being.
And that's something I really appreciate about how they talk about Cortisync. They don't try to tell you that it's some magic pill that's going to make all your stress disappear overnight.
Yeah.
It's more like they're positioning Cortisync as just one tool, one part of a much bigger approach to stress management and overall wellness.
Right, exactly. It's about integrating it into a lifestyle that really supports you. Think regular exercise, mindfulness, maybe that's meditation for you, maybe it's something else. Quality sleep is a big one. And of course, what you're putting into your body, a balanced diet, all that good stuff.
Could not agree more. Got to cover all the bases. And hey, speaking of giving your body the support it needs, I have to remind our listeners one more time about our amazing sponsor for this deep dive, Top Secret Reviews. Guys, they've got an awesome deal on Cortisync just for you. So head over to our show notes, click that link, and check it out. Okay, so before we wrap up this deep dive on Cortisync, I want to come back to something we were talking about earlier, personal responsibility. So we've gone deep into the science behind Cortisync, the ingredients, the potential benefits, even those super inspiring stories from people who've had success with it. But at the end of the day, the decision of whether or not to try Cortisync, that's up to you.
Absolutely. You are in the driver's seat. It's about giving yourself the information you need so you can weigh those options and make the best choice for you. And hey, don't be afraid to loop in your doctor, too. They can give you personalized advice.
So well said. Well, expert speaker, this has been a seriously insightful conversation about stress and how Cortisync might be able to help people manage it better.
It's been a pleasure diving into it all with you.
Likewise. And a huge thank you to all of you for joining us for this deep dive into the world of Cortisync. Just remember, taking care of your well-being is a journey, not a race. And there's so many resources out there to support you along the way. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and take good care of yourselves.